Welcome to the Neen Valley Role-Playing Association, a group of friends who like to play RPGs, that's role-playing games, and try and have fun. If you like the video, please like and subscribe.
We're back. And it's gone. The heart of gold is no more. Your ship that you worked so hard to, steal from its crash site. That was it. It's gone. Burned. Destroyed. But at least the culprit's dead. Maybe you need to steal another one. I mean, could become a bit of a habit, right? But in the meantime, you don't have much else to do, so hey, you might as well check out this secret base. Okay, any questions from last week? Anybody got anything they need to know? Burning questions about anything?
Tinson.
Yeah, it's.
I have one.
I'd be derelict if I didn't give you a chance to talk.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a question about last week.
I don't want to strand you without the knowledge you need. Anyway, carrying on. Sorry, Rob.
Okay, so it's a very important question. Well, I think it's an important question. Have we found a large enough broom to clear up the debris and the ash from the burnt ship? Because we don't want the pirates, when they come, to see that something's happened. Or do we?
I think it's quite a large ship. It's not going to be easy to conceal.
I've got a funny feeling we might have plenty of time to store everything in the hangar.
You could put it all in the hangar quite comfortably. The leftover debris.
It fits now.
We need to find the orb.
Yeah, no, it fits. You bastards.
Yeah.
We need.
Is there any way that we can fit the
Varo
ship in the hangar?
Varo was only joking that if only we could reduce it in size.
But what you could do is you could do that, but it will take you some time. It'll probably take you the thick end of a couple of days because there's so much to move.
That's all right. We're down to a new area and we haven't actually opened any doors that's got monsters or critters in it that can get out. So if we go up and do that for a couple of days, they'll still be there. They're not going to run down the emergency exit because they want to get to us and then attack us in mob.
Well,
or would they?
Yeah,
Do you see how Mr. Godsland there is looking? Shifty eyes.
I have these sections. Sorry, Christine.
I was going to say we might want to go and feed the hellhounds, try and befriend them.
Well, you've got 13 socks and one of them is full of kibble.
Well, of course, there's this big lifter platform here that we could go and get a few barrels or crates of kibble and bring it down.
Yeah, I mean, that'll only take about an hour, so...
No, not that long.
We could have we could have a pack of hellhounds, you see, at our beck and call, if we play it right.
And because they're hellhounds, I think if they are hellhounds, don't they like fresh meat? We've got a dead pirate upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we could also
Then
take
you
the
give them-
pirates'
You
clothes
give them the
off.
taste of meat, and then they'll want more.
Well, I'm fine.
They'll be after your leg.
I'm more of a dessert than a main course.
That's it, big jelly.
Hopefully, by the time that
Here
they've
is
actually
trifle.
eaten you guys, they'll be too,
Yes.
they'll
Yeah,
be
that's
too
it.
full to eat me.
Yeah. Stuff a couple of sponge fingers in him and cover him in custard and call him a trifle.
Sponge finger shoes.
Hey, but I'm not having any one of you, nice gentlemen, putting your cream on me. Stop.
Right. What are you going to do?
Kibble first, and then
I was just
or
wondering
open
down
that last door.
Yeah, let's just.
Sorry, Rob first.
Okay, Kibble or go and open the door to the right of at the end of the passageway where Varo is, because we've already opened the first one.
Varo, sorry, Pete, you were going to say something.
I was going to say, I think we should go fetch the kibble first.
So Varo has started wandering down this corridor and then he stops. So what now? You come down in the lift.
Yeah.
You don't know this area. So you're going to share your plan with everyone else, right?
Yeah, I think it sounds like the animals are still alive in here, and they're probably very hungry by now. I think we should go and get them some food just in case. Anthony, I think you're muted.
I am, because there's some background noise. But yes, I will support that, and we'll help Gary.
Okay.
So we'll head off. How many are they barrels, crates of kibble are there in that storeroom?
They're barrels, actually.
Yeah. Okay, that's a bit
And there are
easier.
8 of them. They're big barrels. There are 8 of them. You go back up to the storeroom. I'm not going to
Yeah.
worry about moving maps and so forth. You go back up to the storeroom, and between you, I mean, basically Lovelaw can tuck them under his arm and pick them up, but they are pretty heavy. But between you take all of these barrels. You don't bother rolling them because you're not quite sure whether they might get damaged rolling them down the corridor. You pick them up, you get them down the other end. There are almost certainly some trolleys or something at some point, but maybe they were taken when they left, because some things were removed.
Yeah.
Maybe they rolled those into the ship when they left. But you carry them down and you put them on the lift, and then you come down and you are at the lift. Hang on a second. Just hold your horses, because search is slow. All right. All right, so what are you going to do with these barrels then?
So I'm thinking pop a couple in front of each of these 2 big doors. Take the lids off, but otherwise leave them as they are, because we can always tip them over, and hopefully and distract if anything comes out.
And obviously, when you were on the lift, there was plenty of room for you all to stand on the lift together.
Yeah.
But you're in tactical positions at the moment, if you like. Okay, so you're going to stick a couple here, tipped over and opened. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
Not tipped over, just opened. Yeah, just leave the top off.
Yeah. If it's to feed something, unless the thing is pretty large, they're tall. They're fairly tall barrels, and a couple in front of this door. Did you say just here?
Yeah. That's my thoughts anyway. But yeah. Well, the thing is, you know, if they are, even if they're small, you know, if it's like say large cat size, like you know, tiger, leopard, something like that, they push them over.
Yeah.
You know, if they smelled their familiar food, they would push those things over, and
Mm-hmm. So now what are you
that's
going to
it.
do?
Now I think we should go and have a look down that door. So I'm going to head
I'm just
down to
going
the
to
door.
move to one side over here, just because it's convenient, not for any particular reason.
Yeah.
All right, stop. You get to here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Finish this, please.
What is that?
Tell you what that is in a second.
It's got two mouths, whatever it is.
Before anybody rolls anything, I've only got one thing in the turn tracker, and that's not Lovelaw.
I've got
I can't
nothing.
see
Oh, no, there it
anything
is.
There we go.
I was going to say,
That's
I can't
more
see
like it.
anything in the turn tracker.
It wasn't
I can
updating.
now.
It does that thing sometimes where it doesn't update, you know? Right, roll away, folks.
And I have my crossbow
All
out.
right.
And shield. As soon as Varo goes, oh shit, or Lovelaw goes, prepare to die, invading scum. Then yeah, because we've literally just dumped all the crap out, haven't we? So hands would be empty. So crossbow and shield for me.
Right. Okay, Varo, this thing, there's a shimmer. And this thing appears in front of you.
Okay. So
It doesn't look very happy. It's okay.
What does it
Let's
look like?
have that. It looks kind of like that.
Ooh,
But you can see that it's had whilst it might have been a reasonably natural creature at some point, it's had work done to it. You can see scars. You can see more of these sort of black metallic and dark gold lumps kind of sticking out of it. It's got some weird collar on that you realise is not actually a collar. It's not like fixed round. It's like fixed within this thing's neck. And there's some things that come up over its head. It's clearly been heftily vivisected, and you know, had some pretty nasty things done to it. It looks angry, and like it's going to basically like it's going to eat you. There's one other thing you notice about it. It seems really, really lean. You can see its rib. You can see its ribs sticking out.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks hungry.
Yeah.
You know, everybody else asks you what it is, and you say, "I don't know, but it's weird and it's pissed off."
Yeah. Okay. So Varo is also going to shimmer and disappear
Right.
back to there.
Right.
Action.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, as an action, can I wrench the top off of this barrel here and just tip it out onto the floor?
You can, yes.
Is that difficult terrain for Lovelaw to pass?
Well, it might be with a hungry beast eating kibble in it, but yeah, maybe. I'm hoping Lovelaw will not have to, you know, or any of us might not have to fight this thing. So that's what Varo's going to do.
Yeah, poochie.
Hey, it looks hungry. I'm hoping we can distract it with something that's not us.
That's perfectly reasonable. JL. You hear him yell and a snarling noise, and then you see him teleport and pull the barrel over, and kibble spills out all the way across the floor.
Yeah. Let's see.
Are you drawing kibble?
I am.
Not me.
I've got
Cool.
I've got
kibble.
I've got a few seconds before it's my turn, so literally Shaggy just goes over towards where the door is and starts painting kibble on the map.
So she's gonna go there and ready an action to fire a bow if the creature goes for Varo.
All right. So the ready
If
action
she goes
that
for
you're
the food,
taking,
she's not gonna do it.
Yeah. So the ready action you're taking is to fire it at the beast if it attacks Varo.
Yeah.
Super cool. Lovelaw. You've seen all this, and you've seen Varo twinkle out of existence. And you see this thing, and you can see that it's calculating. You're looking at it, and you can see intelligence in its eyes. It's looking at you. It's looking at the food, and it's looking at Varo.
Well, hopefully it will realise that it's outnumbered, but there is food there.
That's not difficult terrain. It's just a pile of kibble. You can step over it. It's fine. You don't want to stand in that square, but you can move. All right, cool. You've moved. You can move one more if you want to.
You're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna. I think I want to stay. Well, I don't want to be in the way of the shot that JL's got lined up.
Mhm.
You won't
But
be.
Okay,
Doesn't make a
so
difference.
if I'm right here, I'm just gonna ready an action. If Varo's attacked, I'll whack whatever comes after him with the axe.
Okay. Comes around the corner and bites you. Doesn't trigger jail, does it? Okay.
There, that is true. I'm just hoping it'll go for the little one.
Megan, you doing anything?
No. I'm gonna take my longbow out. I'm ready to shoot it should it try to attack any of us.
Okay. Shags.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I can see that it's a doggo now, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If I went round the barrel, okay, would that barrel space here be considered as difficult terrain? I think it would.
At the
wouldn't it?
moment, it has a barrel in it. I put the
Yes.
barrels in the places deliberately.
Yes.
So the barrel is currently on its side, half full of kibble, and the kibble has spilled out into the space in front of Varo. The space in front of Varo is not difficult terrain because it's got a little pile of kibble in it.
I wanted to.
This is
Basically,
this
what I
is
want to
difficult
do.
terrain.
Let me
Can't
tell you what I
stand in
want
that
to.
place.
Let me tell you what I want to do. Okay. What I want to do is I want to get to the barrel, which I can do in 5, 10, 15, 20 to here. I want to scoop down, pick up a handful of kibble. I then want to get there and then throw it down here.
Okay.
I'm using it as an improvised attack, but I don't want to attack it, so it would be an improvised
It's a long way to
bludgeoning.
throw a handful of kibble.
Yes.
A very long way. What you're actually going to do is just end up with a bunch of bits of kibble in the corridor, and probably none of it is going to go that far.
Well,
Well,
you got Mage Hand.
no. But that's the thing. So,
Okay.
can
Where will you
I
then
move
stand?
there? It's either that or I go through Lovelaw, and I'm still going to get stuck here anyway because I'm not going to be able to move out of it.
You've moved 5 feet, right?
I've moved 5 feet to here.
Okay. So to get to here is 20 feet.
The
Hang
one
on
thing
one
I
moment.
throw.
Hang on one moment. The audio's gone. Here you go. Right.
Hey,
Sorry about
Shaggy, if you can hear me before you do it, quick note, if you do step there, then 2 of us that have readied actions, in case this thing decides not to go after the kibble and Varo and goes after Varo, our stuff's gone. Because if it goes after you, we're not going to get those ready actions. Just a thought.
Well, you're not going to get the ready action anyway because he's going to be in the way. And if it goes for him, it will go for him at the end of the corridor.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying. If Shaggy steps in front of Varo, that will null out 2 different potential attacks.
Yeah.
Okay, so a thrown weapon has the range of what? That's a very good question, isn't it? So I've just
Usually
thought of
it's defined-
something.
usually
I
it's
don't
defined by the
need
thrown
to.
weapon, but that's not what this is it?
I don't need to. Well, technically, yes, because whatever the rules are for the distance of a thrown weapon would be roughly the same for throwing kibble. It's only the density of the material that is lighter, but my strength is still the same to get something like a throwing knife. You're going to tell me that a throwing knife that's around about a pound and a half in weight is
No, you're missing the point.
not
You're
going
missing
to
the
travel
point
that far.
completely. You're missing the point completely.
Okay, I'll
If-
tell
if
you
I was
what.
to say-
No, we'll just
if I was to say- no,
continue
if I
on.
was to say to you,
I'm
if I
not
were to
going to
say
do
to you-
anything.
hang on,
Move on.
Rob, hang on, just a second. Let me explain what I'm saying. If you were to go to you presumably, do you feed your dog kibble? Because I feed Aussie kibble, yeah. If you were to grab a big handful of kibble, even with your massive blobby hands, right, and then you were to hurl it down the corridor, what I'm saying is that it's not like a single object like a knife or a stone or a grenade or something like that. So what you'll end up with is a scattering all the way down the corridor. You can throw it to aim to here, but you'll end up with it scattered down the corridor simply because it's a particulate, and therefore as you throw it, some of it will fall closer to you and some of it will go further away. It won't all end up further away. Just that's because of the nature of it. It's just the way
Like
it's
throwing
flying.
a handful of sand as opposed to a baseball. Got it.
Yeah, that's actually a really good analogy. Yeah, or a handful of gravel kind of thing. Yeah, some of the stones are going to hit your target, but some of them are going to fall short. Some of them are going to kind of scatter because that's what it does. It's buckshot versus bullet type of a thing. It just spreads out. So that's what I was trying to say to you. It's not that you can't throw it because you can. It's just that it's going to end up being scattered all down the corridor, which may be desirable. It may not. I didn't want you to do it and then harsh me for not having it hit your target.
Like I said, but it's fine. I've done.
Okay.
I've moved 5 foot. That's my go done.
Okay. All right. So. Woof.
Oh,
Things are starting to get dicey.
Okay. A whole bunch of them blink in and start running around near you. But they move, they're very lithe and very fast. They sort of whip around you and you're all like reacting to them as if they're going to attack. And then there's this sort of howling yip from down the corridor here. And this one comes charging forward and it yips again. And you notice that it's slightly kind of more muscly and a bit more a bit larger than the others, and they all stop moving. They're poised to attack you, and they all stop moving. And it sniffs at the kibble and looks at all of you and starts eating, right? And it looks at you, Varo, and it narrows its eyes and it lets out a little growl. Little growl, and then the others just start piling on the kibble that's here. They kind of come wandering back and start piling on the kibble that's here, and literally do exactly what you were suggesting. They're knocking the barrels over, and they're just chowing down, and they're ignoring you. And you're all just stood there, kind of going, "Oh, that actually worked." You're also looking like, particularly Varo is going, huh? And the only person who sort of stood there twirling this arrow around her fingers and just sort of kind of letting her bow swing around her hand and back again, the only person who looks completely chill about it is Megan.
So,
I love it when a plan comes together.
do we move forward and leave the ravening horde behind us, or?
I think we very carefully sidle away.
You could walk past the one that's in the corridor. Now, obviously, it's filling up the space.
Yeah.
Because tactically speaking, it's filling up the space, right? But they're medium-sized creatures, and of course, they're dogs.
Yeah.
Right? So you can walk past them. 5 foot wide is more than enough to walk past.
Yep. I think what I'm going to do is, while I'm there, I'm just going to open the other barrels, these 3 barrels in here.
Okay, that's fine.
I won't knock them over, but I'll open the tops for them. So, if they feel hungry enough, then they can fill their boots.
Mm-hmm.
Does the bottom corridor look any different with the door at the end of it? Or is that more the same?
This one,
As far as we can tell, yeah.
perception check. Just you, no one else.
Cheat gone.
I was going to say, I don't suppose JL's got a jug of everlasting custard. They might need some drink, we just don't want kibble for the dogs.
Custard.
Depends what it is today.
Is it mayonnaise or custard? Or are we on water?
I don't think we've chosen
What are we
yet
on
since we've rested. We could choose.
Delicious beef stock. I think that's one of the options. But
Pour some gravy over that kibble for them.
they probably just prefer water, but they're eating. So, okay. So the answer to your question is you sort of step forward and have a little look. You're just looking down there, and what you realise is that it's quite subtle. It's not particularly something you would have noticed before, but when you stand there and sort of pay attention, you notice that you think that corridor was carved later. It looks like that was an extension that was added a bit later.
Okay.
I mean, it's the same utility, it's the same sort of process and everything else, but it just looks the carving looks a bit fresher.
Yeah. What do we think, guys? Top corridor or bottom corridor? I mean, I think these guys have probably become a bit calmer when they've had a chance to fill their bellies. So
I'll hopefully curl up and sleep somewhere.
yeah.
Legs akimbo, bellies exposed for rubbing.
Jeez.
You may be wishing a little bit too much for something that's an engineered dog of murder.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
I still wonder what's going to happen when we come back through.
Mm.
Well, hopefully they'll remember that, you know, we fed them.
Absolutely. Surely.
Unlike the sentient creatures that you were fighting previously, the difference here is that these things look intelligent with respect to kind of dog level intelligence, right? They've got smarts, they have an understanding, but they're not sentient like the creatures that you fought before. So they're not really capable of that level of instruction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they haven't been engineered to be intelligent, communicating creatures. Yeah?
Not like raptor level intelligent.
They're probably as smart as a raptor, maybe, but I'm just trying to remember that Adrian Tchaikovsky book, if anybody's read it, where Dog is one of the, like, this genetically enhanced dog that's one of the, like a super soldier thing that's been used in these wars, and then gets arrested, and it's a whole thing about the rights of a creature that has been genetically engineered with and then tasked up by humans as to whether it is actually capable of war crimes and all that sort of stuff. No, I can't remember what the book is called. Even Pete hasn't read it. Crikey, I found another. I can't believe I found a book that Pete hasn't read. By the weekend, he'll have finished it. It's fine, but it's a challenge, isn't it? Yeah, I just can't remember what it's called now. So yeah, but I mean they are, and I mean they're keeping an eye on you. Don't get me wrong, as they're eating, they and they're watching you, but they're not. But because you're not making any hostile moves, they seem pretty chill with it at the moment.
Well, then the bottom corridor seems newer than the other bit, so yeah, I don't mind which we go. That way or this way.
I'm bouncing between screens because I've moved rooms, guys. So I apologize.
I would like to, as I've got 3 of these dogs around me, pet one whilst it's eating on the rear flank.
Pet one.
Yeah, I'm just
While
gonna.
it's eating.
Yeah, well, I'll just on its flank, see what it does. And I'm gonna go. There you go, my little children. Have some of that delicious biscuit stuff.
It goes for you.
I knew that was happening. I could feel it. Just back away. Just back away. Just back away.
It hits, and it basically turns around, snaps at you, which you kind of weren't expecting. Snaps at you, sinks its teeth into you, and it's growling, and they're all like up and angry straight away. Take 3 points of piercing damage. It's clamped down onto you. It's got its jaws in you, basically on you.
Don't act scared. Don't act scared.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Initiatives.
Again? Okay. Here we go. Are we rolling again, or are we back in the same order?
I think you need to roll.
Okay.
You want to re-roll.
Damn it. It was all going so well.
Ah, well. You're going to have to deal with this at some point.
Yeah, is everybody rolled? 1, 2, 3. I've got 3, 4, 5. 5. I got 5. All right. Okay, Lovelaw.
All right. What I do, John.
The others are not attacked. They're just all barking very loudly and barking and growling very loudly. They've stopped eating and they're all barking and growling.
Okay, the height of the room.
The what, sorry?
Height of the room. I'm quasi thinking about growing.
Height? Oh
Yes, sir.
yeah, it's 10 feet, so it's the 10-foot ceilings in here.
All right.
Actually, no, this area is actually quite tall. This area is about 20 feet. Sorry, yeah, you're in the you're at the bottom of the lift shaft, aren't you? Yeah, it's 20 feet in here. The rest of it's 10 feet throughout.
All right. This is not in great character, but I'm gonna say easy, and try to persuade her animal handle.
Okay, that seems completely fair. So you're going to roll persuasion.
Not my best, but that's my plan.
No, that's fine.
Look at that.
Okay, so you turn and basically it's the one kind of diagonally from you that's at him, and all the others are yip 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 yip, and you just turn to it and you fix your eyes on it, and you just this incredible calm comes across you. You don't even know where it comes from because normally you're quite a fractious individual, but somehow this calm rests on your shoulders, and it's almost like you feel this connection to the world. And perhaps the hand of your god just reaches out and just lays on your shoulder very lightly, and you turn to the dog and you say, "Hey, easy," and it looks at you and it sees you and it feels your calm. It feels your calm coming through, and its jaws release, and it looks up at Shaggy, and you can see that it's almost like it looks a little bit sheepish. It looks a little bit both puzzled and sort of almost disappointed with itself. And he stood there, and he's kind of like, you can see he's going to go for this thing, right? And everyone else is like, up, and you just bring this calm to the room, and everything just stops for a moment. And all of the other dogs, they're howling and yipping. They just sort of stop, and they all look at you.
All right.
And the one to your
My
right,
second action, I just smack it. No, I'm just joking.
and the one to your right just looks, and it just gives this low, again, one of these low rumbling yips, and then a slight howl, and they all sort of they all kind of move, and you can see them all calming down, and they're watching. They all sort of sit and they're watching, but they're not eating, but they're not aggressive either. You've just managed to calm them. And all the rest of you are like, it's a bit like the secret door. What did he get? Wait,
You never know.
War beast whisperer.
guy. He's the big axe guy. You know, he hit things, stand in the way, hit things. You're all like completely stunned by this.
He has surprising depths.
I do, like an onion. Yeah.
As long as you don't make us cry.
I've calmed down troops in battle before that are about to lose it. I just slowly look the eyes away from the one who's there back to the alpha and give it a bit of a head nod. And then that's my turn.
Okay. Well, I mean, everything calms down, and everyone else like takes a breath.
Varo's going to calmly step away.
Yeah, you just I mean, yeah, you can move. It's fine. Shaggy, you realise that what you thought was a situation where they were going to be very friendly. They're clearly not, unfortunately, and you don't think there's very much you can do about it. It looks just like they are. They've got so much pent up aggression. They're programmed so much to be aggressive that the slightest move will set them off, which is deeply upsetting because you're the kind of soul who loves to pet a dog.
I just want to hug him and squeeze him and call him George.
Exactly. Like he
Yep.
loves Monty. Suggest we all get out of their way while they eat.
I think so. Yeah. Let's not tempt fate down the other corridor. Let's go down this one down here, shall we?
Sounds great. Let's make sure Shaggy can get out of there.
By the way, did anyone bring any poop bags? There's going to be quite a bit of cleanup after them, I think.
All right. Stuff there.
Your face is a plate.
I'm waiting to see if Shaggy can make the next step without causing reaction.
Yeah.
So you just step away and they watch you, and then as you all slowly like moving down the room, they go back to eating, watching, and eating and watching.
Oh,
All right. I'm bringing up the rear.
okay. Go on, JL, with your passive perception. Perfect for walking down mysterious corridors.
As I go past
Shaggy and Monty.
the barrel of
Like what to go
kibble
around.
that's where Monty currently is, because it's only a representation, I'm going to grab a... Yes, I have a pouch on me. Actually, I've got two pouches that are currently empty.
That's a good
Oh no,
idea.
one's got some ink in it. So I'm going to fill up one of my 1 pound pouch of kibble.
Okay.
Okay, so that is
Good idea.
both of the pouches full. Add
Right.
items to your pouch.
Did we leave a lot of kibble up above, John? I'm starting to calculate in my head how many days we've got before it's us or them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, kibble.
I think
You
they'll
figure,
use-
you figure that this is weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of food
Very good.
for six dogs of this size.
Okay,
This is weeks and weeks and weeks.
gotcha. Very, very good.
And you think that they're probably smart enough not to eat it all at once. Okay, JL, if you want to open the door, let me know. But as per usual, I've mostly locked these doors. Okay, just to stop you from opening them accidentally.
Yeah. Anything in particular about the doors? Just
Yeah, it's just got a lightning trap. Otherwise,
yeah.
Don't mention the trap. But anyway, it's a lightning bolt that's 100 feet long.
exactly.
That's fine. Gets everybody all at once. It's only
Lost the
17 d6
corridor.
damage. It's fine. Half
If it
damage
looks
on a successful charisma save.
Woo!
She's not bad at charisma.
DC 23.
Ah. Yeah, if it looks relatively normal, she'll
Yeah, I
happily
mean,
open it.
the overriding thing with all of these is with this whole place is that aside from some very particular things, and I'm thinking, for example, about the door here, which, as you know, is chunky, right?
Yeah.
Everything else feels it's utilitarian.
Yeah.
You know, this one again does not have a lock on it. It's just a door. So feel free to open it when you are ready.
Dun,
There we
dun,
go.
dun.
You can. So, this is interesting. It looks like a workshop. There's a lot of large kind of benches, tools. There's even some sort of machine tool type stuff in here. It's pretty chunky. There's a door here. and big double doors here. And when I say
Okay.
big, these double doors are pretty much the width of the space. So they're pretty much 10 feet across, and they're 10 feet tall as well. So you figure that when open, they would create an opening that's pretty much 10 by 10, not quite, be about 8 feet wide. And there's a regular door like the one you just come through that's over here. If you're wondering why I ping slightly to the sides of the doors, it's so I don't click on the door thing.
The wander inside.
The catch on these, John, is it something easily workable by pod things?
Would the dogs have be able to open these doors? Is really what the question you're asking.
Yep.
The answer is they probably could. They're probably smart enough to. But although there's kind of this noticeable hanging sort of dog smell and stuff over by where you were, there isn't here.
Okay.
It looks relatively untouched. Most things,
What's the other thing is-
fairly clean and tidy. I mean, it looks like some stuff was kind of torn out of here and taken away, but there's obviously bits and pieces lying around. It looks like when they left, they just kind of they did not take everything with them. They didn't empty this. They didn't strip this place out and take everything. There are still some tools lying around. There are still some bits and pieces, that obviously were being worked on. There's some woodworking stuff, some wood shavings. There's some metal shavings. It looks like mostly it was kind of metal work and things like that in here.
Question as we're going through.
One of the stations. Okay. I will say more when
I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was going to say more, but I'm not. I can't yet. So, sorry.
Okay.
Carry on.
Quick question on the canine guardian things. They sort of teleported in.
Yes.
Okay. Did we figure out why they hadn't gone and gotten their food already? Why they haven't teleported out to go get their food already? Was there a definite area that it looks like they couldn't get through?
The food was at the lift, wasn't it?
The lift.
Yeah, and the lift
Yeah.
So
was
the
at the
lift
top.
is it. Okay, so they can't work the lift. Okay.
Or
That's-
climb
Well, if
the
they can
lift tunnel.
work the lift, you're going to struggle to get out, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the biggest question is exactly that. Why didn't they go through the door and walk up the passageway to have a look at see what's going on? It could be that they maybe did, but the upstairs blobs kept them out of the way. Because remember, we killed the commander. I think he might have been the commander.
Well, that passageway's what? It's a 1-in-1, is it? It's 45-degree slope.
Yeah.
You can't. You'd struggle to get up that with paws, I would suggest.
They teleport through things.
Yeah, but it's also a very, very long distance. So
A long
probably
way.
far longer than.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I can
claiming to
teleport.
know exactly what these beasts are, but I'm just saying that if those beasts can go through solid doors, okay, and emerge on the other side without knowing, well, maybe they do know because they've been there before, then surely, I mean, I don't know whether they can do that at will, like my cantrips, or whether they've got a cooldown like some other spells. I don't know.
Might be only they can only do it through doors. Might only be a 5-foot thing. So we don't know.
No. So,
But yeah, there's reason. I can think of at least a couple of reasons why they couldn't get up that slope. So
There's one other thing that you guys need to remember, which is that there was an extremely large, heavy door between the top of the lift shaft and the rest of the complex.
that's also true. That might have
Controls for which-
anti-teleport properties.
the controls for which were on the were not
Outside.
in the room at the top. They were
Oh,
elsewhere.
okay. Oh, actually, that wasn't a question that I asked. but you've answered it. So there's no controls to open that door on the inside.
No.
Okay.
Hmm.
We didn't look for that,
there's only
did we?
one set
So
of controls
maybe
for
we
that
should have
door.
actually disabled the mechanism prior to coming
Maybe.
down here, because if the pirates
Yeah.
come and if the pirates turn up in 14 hours and 37 minutes and we don't even get anywhere in 16 hours, we're trapped.
Why am I getting the impression I'm going to look at a tool on this table and see an Umbrella Corporation logo or something? I mean, we're in the hive.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yes,
But
100%.
But I do hear you, Lovelaw, and I think it's another piece of the puzzle that makes this
We'll get
place
there.
as charming as it currently is.
Okay. So, is everybody moving down here, or are you hanging around in the corridors?
I would like to move down.
I'm waiting for
Just
Megan.
waiting for our fair lady to adjust her backpack so that her crate that's sticking out of it can get in there.
Waiting on you, Megan.
Okay.
Or do you want
I'm
me?
gonna move down the corridor and step inside.
We're going to go that way.
Cool. Shaggy, you recognise that one of the benches in here is would have been a station used by an artificer. You can just see from the way that things are set up. There's definitely an artificer who worked in here.
Oh,
Look around and see if there's any paperwork, any notes, sketches, or
I'll tell everyone exactly
diagrams.
that, and yeah, let's have a look for some
Yeah, I mean,
blueprints and stuff.
between you all cast about for anything, any kind of clues that there might be. It's really hard to tell. It looks like essential stuff was removed. You see a few like scrawled up, kind of rolled up balls of paper and some things like that, where someone's written on them with like a charcoal pencil, and a few things of that nature, but nothing that really tells you anything. There's some kind of basic diagramming and stuff, but even Shaggy looking at it is like okay, it's a component for something, but not something obvious. Alrighty.
I think all the good shit's been removed when somebody vacated the place.
Probably.
But it kind of makes sense, I suppose, that an artificer may have been involved, because what the uses upstairs were what they had in them, I would imagine, yeah. Be interested to find out who it was. You just can't have mad fucking artificers going around and, corrupting plasmoids and lovely doggos.
So one thing you do find sort of casting about. And JL, this is something that you find. It's not a logo of the Umbrella Corporation, but you do find a logo stamped on a couple of things that you recognise. And you recognise it as the coat of arms, or a simplified version of the coat of arms of the Pariga family.
Yeah, the Pariga family again.
They're starting to bother me. Maybe we should have just killed that one. Anyway. You like these heavy doors?
Is that big 10 by 10 door similar to the one that we saw down the corridor? Is that
No,
similar? No, differently.
no, not at all. It's double doors, opens completely normally on hinges, not locked. I mean, it's locked at the moment, but that's to stop Lovelaw walking up and opening it accidentally. And then the
What he was doing.
monster on the other side eating him first.
Big bites.
No, it's not.
So just
it's-
big, not the slightly
just big.
reinforced ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. It's not like that other one, which was, something else.
Come on,
Yeah.
let's open a door. One of them.
Yes.
Move on.
Your decision.
Well,
I'm
but
listening
uh,
at the door I'm stood in front of. Do I hear anything?
Let's clear out Megan's direction first, because that'll give us that direction at least covered.
Yeah, it might join up with the other corridor.
Perception check,
correct.
Megan. Megan, perception. Hello.
Sorry.
There's a reason why the cat's eyes keep closing.
No, sorry, I thought you rolled those for us, so we didn't know how we'd done.
Sometimes I do, but not always.
Wow.
Seems quiet.
Seems quiet. Shall we open it?
Yeah, let's do that.
Just before we do that, the bits that have got the Pariga family stamp on it, are they big? Are they anything small enough to take with me, or are they
Yes.
bigger
Yeah, there's
items?
like bits of crumpled up paper that have got the logo sort of stamped in the bottom right hand corner. Like it's been put on there with like an ink stamp, or maybe the paper's been printed with it.
I'll put a couple of bits of that in my pack, so I've got some
Yeah,
reference.
yeah. You smooth some of it out and just roll it up and stow it. So you're just collating your evidence at this point.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
it.
Okay. I just ready in action. If something attacks Megan, I'll attack you.
You've got a great axe of warning, mate.
I do. I still do that.
I'll be
Yeah.
surprised.
You can bury it into the head of whatever is on the other side of the door. Hey, look, that's a warning for you.
There's no
Okay,
such
well,
thing as a ready action in these circumstances. It's taking the ready action at this point because you're not taking an action. Because it's
No.
weird, isn't it?
Fair enough.
You've
You're right.
got your axe in your
You're
hand.
right.
And if something attacks, you're going to, yeah, I mean, I get it,
Fair
I'm
enough.
going to open the door.
go ahead.
Can't reach it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
got it.
an axe just sails past your head as you open the door. Yes, Lovelaw is ready.
Drops thin air. Okay, so it looks like it almost looks like a corridor. In that there's another door on the other side, just here. But lined up sort of along the sides here are a couple of kind of tables on each side. What they might have been used for is not entirely clear.
This is weird as shit. Hey. We going in?
Yep.
Okay,
We'll step in with
move
you.
it in.
Okay, I've unlocked that door, so if you click it, it will open.
I'm going to listen at it first.
You don't need to listen at it. You can smell quite clearly the doggy smell from the other side.
Aha.
That's where they came from. Gotcha.
I smell doggies. Open up.
Oh,
Dead
man.
or alive?
That's a big room.
It is a big room. You're absolutely right. Megan, I'm going to do that with you, and then I'm going to move you back. All right?
Huh?
Okay?
You've seen the room. Got it.
That's right. So, a couple of things to note when you peek around the corner and look into the room. In fact, actually, no, I'm just going to park you there for a second, but you are still the other side of the door, just so you know. Basically, you're looking around the door, yeah? Okay, so there's a door here, and you're pretty sure that's the door that the dog came from underneath. But what's interesting is there's a corridor just here, but it's low. Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute. It only goes up to 5 feet. This is obviously a laboratory, a chamber which is you think has been where the medical work has been done on these dogs, as best you can tell. There's a number of bench-like tables lined up along the far end from you. There are some trolleys in here that have got various bits of equipment, tools, what look like sort of operating type tools, saws and knives and things of that nature. On the back wall here, there are some racks for equipment and other things. You're pretty certain that this was this is where the dogs were vivisected. I mentioned this tunnel because coming out of this tunnel and sort of terminating just here are some little narrow rails, and actually sitting kind of to one side but tipped over is a cage which has actually got some little wheels on the bottom that you think would fit on these rails. And it goes off down this corridor. This corridor is low in that it is just about 5 feet wide and slightly less than 5 feet tall. So you think that this would have been a way, and your best guess, based on what you are seeing, is that maybe the dogs' kennels are somewhere off down this corridor. And then what would have happened is they would have gone along with a cage, taken the dog out of its kennels and into the cage, and then they would have rolled it into the laboratory here. Okay? I'm going to move you back again just because that's fair. There are no other exits that you can see, by the way.
Then the question would be whether there's any evidence in there, Megan, that we can gather against the noble house that has done such wrong.
Well, we can give it a quick search through.
A search of this room is not going to be quick. It's going to take you a good, even all of you together, is going to take you a good 40 minutes plus to search this room comprehensively, just so we're clear.
Maybe that's something we can do later.
Okay. The canines will be through eating in less than 40 minutes. And they will very possibly return to where they know is home just out of instinct.
Well, that's a
So,
question.
That's
for
not
that
this
knowl-
room.
Is that this room?
This-
Is there a sign
this-
of a bed or something in here?
This room is nothing but their source of torture.
Okay, yet they came through it.
One of them did. The leader
One
did.
of them did. The leader
And we
did.
think the other ones may have come through over here.
Yes, they did.
Okay, so we do
They
know
definitely
that.
came from behind that door, no question.
All right. That's good to know.
Okay.
Cool. I bow to your wisdom, team.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. Even with all of you, there's a lot of ground to cover in there. There's a lot of equipment to check, spots on the wall, all sorts of stuff. That's all.
I mean, the main thing would be to look for notes. Notes. Just casting a quick look around the room. Are
Is there a major desk? Is there what looks like a main desk area?
Are there notes, files?
Are you going in to have a
cabinet?
wander around, or are you just standing by the door and looking?
Just having a look for now. Yeah.
Okay. You don't see anything. You don't see anything obvious from where you stood. Okay. This would be a good opportunity for us just to take a quick break, guys.
Okay.
You guys don't mind.
All right.
Right back.
Yep. No worries.
Yes.
It's worth saying that the few little bits and pieces that you did find, the JL sort of ferreted out, and that you did find in this room, were all sort of discarded in the corners. And this room is noticeably messier and a bit more chaotic than this place, which is a lot more organised and a lot more sterile. Okay.
Okay. Let's move on quickly then, and we can, as you say, we can come back.
Absolutely.
I'd say close the door behind us.
Have we got any way of detecting if there's any magics in that room?
Detect magic.
Might have.
Because
I can.
I don't.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. I think that's a very
I mean,
good
if we're
idea.
not going to search it for magical gear and stuff, we might as well just cast the spell and go, yeah, there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
Kind of. Or nothing in that direction.
So it works within 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So
So you
I
need to
would
be kind of in the middle of it, wouldn't you?
Need to be, yeah, I need to go into the room.
Yeah.
Right.
Which,
I'll give it a go.
do we want to do that just in case something gets triggered and they will come zapping in?
I'm going to take a chance.
I'm with
Okay,
you.
well, hold on a second then.
Alrighty.
I would prefer it if Monty was kind of close to one of yous.
So that should cover the whole room.
It does.
Right.
Bear in mind, there's all sorts of weird and wonderful, like, you know, stone benches, metal things, metal tables, etc., in here. So you kind of cast it and then wander around the room a bit. You figure is probably the best option. All right. So you cast it, you wander around the room. You can hear growling coming from this way, and then a bit of barking.
Lasts for 10 minutes, so I'll do this other room as well.
You
while
pass around the room, and then you think that maybe leaving is a good idea.
Yep. Okay. So, anything ping?
No. Surprisingly not.
Interesting. So non-magical research from the look of it.
Well, there's nothing magical left here. Is what you think.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
And he also had a bit better view of kind of tabletops and stuff like that. and again, didn't spot any piles of papers or anything of that nature. It looks very clean in there.
And no incriminating documents.
No, quite different to this room,
Yeah.
which looks a lot more chaotic.
Right.
Lovelaw,
Lovelaw, close the door on the way out, will you?
On it. Can you do that for me, John? I'm just typing a little thing.
So also check this room for magic.
Yep. Again, there's nothing in particular that you find. It looks like anything that might have been vaguely magical has been half inched out of here.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on quickly while this spell still lasts. Might as well get the use out of it while we can.
Okay.
Let's open her up.
Okay. Let's open the doors. Boop. Oh no.
That's good. I like that. All right. So, corridor. That's what it looks like anyway. Looks like it opens into a corridor and then opens out into a 10-foot corridor. 10-foot wide corridor.
Peek my nose around the corner. Boop.
Alrighty. I'm going to peek around the corner, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, obviously I have to move the whole thing a little bit more. Yeah? Okay.
There we go.
So, in this direction, it comes here, and you can see that it opens out. And you can see the edges of a room here. Okay? In this direction, you've got another set of double doors, much like the double doors that you've just come through. Okay? So basically, this set over here is the same as this set here. Yeah, wide, tall doors that open basically flat to the wall and create a wide piece. What's interesting about this?
Useful for getting large equipment through.
Yes, exactly. Down here, when I say down here, this actually slopes. So from basically the slope starts about here and gently slopes down in this direction. That slope is not. It's not like the other slope. It's not a 1-in-1. It's a gentle slope, but it does slope downwards, noticeably slope downwards.
Let's go.
Which way do you think?
I mean, I'm scanning it the whole time that I'm walking, so if anything comes within 30 feet that's magical, then...
Big room or big door?
No.
What does a big door look like?
I'd say let's go down the slope. I want to see what's in that big room.
So Rob, the big door here is a big set of double doors, the same as the big set of double doors here. Okay, in that they are 10 feet tall. Each one is 5 feet wide, about 5 feet wide, and they open basically flat to the wall, like the ones you've just come through. You've opened both of them up, which are ideal for getting big things through, big bits of equipment. Okay, so that's what this one is like here. Yeah.
Doesn't remind us of the third door in the platform room where the doggos and the kibble is. Yeah, that one.
You mean this door here?
Yeah, I know that they're roughly look, but are they the same?
It's completely different.
Completely different.
This,
right? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a single slab door, right? That does not appear to that appears to slide either into the wall or into the ceiling. You're not quite sure.
Yeah.
And you weren't 100% sure how you might open it either. And also, this has kind of magical sigils all over it, like it's got some kind of magical ward on it. Whereas these other doors don't.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to walk up there just to get within 30 feet of it.
Righto. Yep, you just I mean, literally just sort of skip up that way and then turn around and come back. You don't. It does. You don't think there's any magic on the door on that door.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to go up to the door itself. Anything beyond the door?
Given what the door is made out of, you think it's unlikely that you're going to be able to detect anything through the other side.
What's the door made of?
Use your action to see a faint aura around an invisible creature or object in the area that bears magic.
Spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal.
Use your action to see a faint aura around an invisible creature or object in the area. Visible creature or object. If the door's closed, you can't see it because it's not a visible creature or object.
Then why would it say the spell can penetrate most barriers?
Sorry, I was misreading that. So you can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet.
Yeah.
So
That's right, yeah.
you get this feeling that there's probably some magic on the other side of this door. Something magical on the other side of this door.
Right. I shall relay that to the party.
Okay.
Something magical on the other side of this door, guys.
Oh,
Okay. We're doing that first then?
Is
I
it
think we should.
walking, or is it a statue type thing, or is it an item, or Varo?
I can't hear you very well.
Varo's eating some sort of pie, so he couldn't talk to you at the time.
Oh, right, okay.
But he doesn't know. No, I can only detect that there's some sort of magic.
When you detect the
door.
presence of magic, you have to be able to see it to get more from it, don't you?
Yeah, if I can see it, I can tell you more.
Yeah, Varo seems to be trying some of this kibble, seeing if it's any good. You know,
Yeah.
might be handy for storing us for food as well, not just feeding the hounds.
We might end up fighting them over it, depending on how long we're stuck on this rock.
Okay. Shall we then?
right. Let's do it, team.
Come on.
Okay.
Let's roll
Good
the
job, Monty.
initiative to open a door. Let's see who goes first.
I'll swing it open. Got to do the barbarian thing.
Yes.
It appears as if I had set it to be a secret door, which is even weirder because it presumably wasn't appearing on the map for you.
Do you mean to move it back so you can? Okay.
No, it's okay. I don't. Right. This is some kind of assembly room, and much like the this area, much like this corridor just here, and also this corridor, as far as you can tell, this room looks new. Okay, like it's more recent. JL, you're noticing that more than anyone else is. Everyone else is. You keep saying, "Oh, this looks new. This looks new," and everyone else is like, "Yeah, and." There are a series of pieces of something disassembled in here, and the magic is coming from a piece that's kind of in the middle. There's this kind of circular section. And there are pieces of things sort of all over the place here. There's also a trolley, finally. There's a big trolley which presumably would have been used to ferry the stuff down to the other room or something. You don't know.
Yes.
This room is actually there's quite a lot going on in here. You know, you're kind of picking your way around between the machinery. When you get up to this central piece, you as a group, you're sort of scratching your heads over what it might be or what it might do, what the function might be. But Varo, you get the distinct impression from this. You stand and you look at it for a moment. It's evocation school. But beyond that, the function of it isn't exactly clear. It's sort of some central core of something, and there's a whole other bunch of bits of kit around it.
So, powerful elemental magic.
Probably your partner.
Yep.
That's right. can just load as much machinery onto it as you need to,
Hmm.
and then one person can pull it on their own. So you said elemental magic.
Well, evocation tends to be powerful elemental things, lightning, fire, cold, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, evocation is the creation of energy from through magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things like, yes, exactly, fireball, lightning bolt are evocation spells.
Okay. All right. So, can I get this piece out of there? Is it portable? What is it?
No,
shaped?
none of this is portable. It's all big, heavy kit. I mean, what do you want to do with it?
No. Okay. I didn't know if it was
It
valuable
depends
at
on
all.
what most of this stuff is for.
Mhm.
Maybe this is the sort of the core part of whatever this thing is. Maybe once you put it, if you assemble
Could be
it,
the back, yeah, some
together,
sort of-
maybe it would make sense.
Sort of power core. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
looking for the battery cover. He wants to take the batteries out just to make sure nobody else can use it against us.
Yeah.
There's a door there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Any magic behind it?
Not that you can detect. Oh, hang on a second. No, not that you can detect.
Mm. Okay.
That's inspiring.
Not that you can detect.
Okay. I'll step back then. Someone want to open the door?
JL, you want to take a look?
I just noticed something. It looks like that is also a secret door. I do apologise. Rather
be
than
glad.
locking the
We're seeing
door,
them.
I made them all secret.
But we're seeing them.
It's just
That's the
painted on.
strangest
It's
thing.
just painted on. It's not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are. I
walked
can
through the
see
door.
them, and they've got like, yeah.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, the corridor that you said there's growling from, there's no door there. So we wouldn't necessarily know that the growling was coming from.
There is a door.
No,
Oh, do you mean
when you
um,
pinged up
just
here,
there?
yes. So we can't
Yeah.
see the door there,
Oh, yeah.
but
There
we
is
can
no
see.
door.
There is no door.
There's a tunnel.
Right, that's all
It's a
right then.
That's the 5 foot wide, 5 foot high tunnel that has got the little rails through it.
Gotcha. Right, okay, that's cool then. But no, the single door in front of JL and the double doors that we just come through, we saw those right from the start.
Yeah, they show up as doors.
Yeah, so if they're supposed to be secret, then
Yeah.
something's
Maybe
not
not
right
secret
there.
doors. They're secret. They're secret walls. They look like doors, but they're actually secretly a wall.
No, they look. You can see them because the map has them on. Yeah.
No, I mean they have the little round thing with a door symbol, which has, and if you hover over it,
Well, it does now because I've unsecreted it.
oh well, okay.
But previously it wasn't there because it was. I ticked the secret
The
thing,
door.
so you can open it. JL opens the door. Cool. There's a short bit of corridor, new,
Yeah.
which leads to a 10 foot wide corridor, probably old. You can see again a line there, so it looks like this has been built more recently.
So it looks like this door, this big, imposing door with wards all over it, has possibly been sidelined by a later edition. So we don't have to open the nasty warded door anymore. That's
That's
handy.
exactly right.
That's handy. Yeah.
Quite enjoyed drawing this map. And if just instead of buggering, they're going to bugger about with that door. They're going to stand there for hours pissing about with it, and then they're going to find they can just walk round, aren't they? No, you didn't. Brilliant.
Yes. Ah,
Awesome.
okay. Okay.
Okay. Right.
Detect magic.
This door just here,
Yes.
and this door just here. Magic.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
I shall. Okay, guys. Both of these doors are magic. What
Doors
sort
are
of magic?
magic? Or there's magic behind them.
What sort of magic? What's your-
Hang on. I'll tell you.
Abjuration by any chance?
It is, in fact, abjuration, yes.
Yeah. So warding, defense.
They are both abjuration.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's pretty much it. I think your spell sort of fizzles at that point.
Yeah, fair enough. I got good value out of that.
Mhm.
Okay, so I do not have any way of dispelling magic. Unfortunately. Any ideas, anyone? I mean, what does the door look like to start with? Let's just, we haven't had a description of the door.
The door at the bottom of the corridor is the same as the door at the top of the corridor. It is a massive, thick, you assume, stone-built door, which slides or lifts or something, but you're not exactly sure because you didn't try to open the other one. You just looked at it and went, yeah, maybe we won't try that. And it has wards all over it.
But this one down the bottom to the south, that's...
The one at the top, the one at the bottom are identical.
Okay, they're both the same.
Mm-hmm.
Big stone warded nasty door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take a
Going on
look
that
at it.
way, or are you going back the way you came to look at the other room? What do you want to do?
Well, we could do. Yeah, I mean, there is this big tempting room behind. Who knows? There might be another way round the other side of this door. Who knows?
You want to search that room?
Very true. But before you go, Lovelaw, Varo, can you tell me, are the wards on this side of the door, or are they on the opposite side of the door?
I can tell you that when John gets back and can answer the question.
I'm listening, but I didn't hear what Rob's question was. Sorry, guys.
Are the wards on this side, our side of the door, or are they on the other side of the door?
They're on both sides. So Varo has now had a chance to look at the door from both sides, and the wards are on both sides of the door. As if the ward is
based
to
on
prevent
the northern door.
time. Yes.
Right. Okay. In that case, I'm going to. No.
Sorry. So this door just here has the warding the warding sigils carved on both sides. This door here, you can only see one side of, and it also has the warding sigils on.
Okay, so Varo, Lovelord, the chances are is that if we think that both doors are identical, we're not going to break the warding on the opposite side without opening the door. So big room and see if we can, or leave it till last.
I think what you'll find is that the wards on these doors, when you tamper with the wall, what they do is they force you back 40 feet. And then because you... Yeah, but what they know, then you hit the other door.
Oh, that would just be a lot. I like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a great track, then. Yeah, ping pong. Boom, 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 boom.
I just opened this door, and in here there's quite a lot of sort of meat. Sort of bony meat all over the floor.
It's just sort of spread between these two doors, yeah.
You don't come this way. I like the way Lovelaw just moves. Like, okay, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, let's leave that one for later. We might get a clue as to how to open it, or there might be a way around it, or something. So nothing springs to mind right now.
really fascinating watching the way that the lighting engine sometimes makes mistakes
Mm.
while I'm watching you guys move.
Do you want me to move you, love?
Yes, please. Oh, I'm there.
Does any of
Are
this
you
look?
moving between screens, mate, still?
I am. It's okay. I'm also having to type a couple of quick messages here and there as we're going.
No
All
worries.
good.
I can't move because Megan's sat on top of me.
You
I
lucky
am not.
bugger.
Eh,
You were
I couldn't move because you were sat on top of me.
rubbish.
It was either you or Shaggy.
Oh, rubbish.
No, I would definitely be under you.
Oh,
JL.
order.
This is a big room.
Hmm.
And what's interesting is that now you were down the bottom of this slope, you couldn't really see it properly before. The edges kind of come down to the slope down to the center. There's steps cut into them. But here in the center of the room, you've got an area probably roughly 20 feet around, kind of centered in the room, and we're stepped down to them. So there is a slope, kind of where you guys are, but otherwise it's sort of stepping all around here. The ceiling's comes up a sort of in a dome shape, but there's a 20-foot, so mirroring the floor above that is a 20-foot circle, and it looks like a tunnel that leads upwards out of sight. From where you're stood, you can't really get a good look up at. You'd need to move down into the centre of the room. On the floor here, there is some leftover bits and pieces of equipment, and most notably there are some mounting points for whatever that thing is. Seeing the mounting points and seeing the tunnel is starting to give you an idea. But someone's going to need to roll for this just to see if you can work out what it is in a minute.
Yeah, someone experienced in mechanisms and
That would be the most sensible thing, right?
yeah.
Go for it, JL.
Urban adventurer that you are.
if only Muggsy were here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, she's reading. She's reading about Muggsy.
Yeah, I mean, if Muggsy would be brilliant because we can throw Muggsy a lot further than any one of us.
Definitely further than Kibble. Sorry, too soon. Too soon.
Sore point.
Okay.
Is this room illuminated, or is there illumination like from the walls and things, or is it? Are there like
Sorry, did you
light
say
sources?
something?
Are there light sources in here, or is it dark?
It's magic.
It's magic.
I have decided that unless there's a damn good reason why, everywhere's just going to be lit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not even going to have like deep conversations about it. Everywhere's just lit, right?
Yeah, there's this mage. There's this mage that goes around everywhere.
Daylight, done. Right?
Magic and
There's still
Wildspace.
walls. You need to go.
Yeah.
You can't see through walls and things, right? Okay, that's fine. But otherwise, everything's just lit. And
this mage that just wanders around.
There's lighting all the way through here. There's magical globe lighting and ceiling lighting all the way throughout this whole complex. But it's like it's just a MacGuffin. It's lit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
fair enough.
Because I think sometimes this kind of game, I could be wrong, we're not really creeping about in the dark.
Hmm.
We're not about that. This is about something different. So
This is about piracy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what it's about.
Let's work out. Let's see if we can work out what this mechanism is.
But
Yeah.
JL, you get down to the middle of the middle of the room and you look up, and you, as far as you can tell, there's hundreds of. It takes you a moment to work out what's going on. There's hundreds and hundreds of feet of tunnel, and your brain takes a moment to look at what it's looking at, and then you realise that you're looking out. This tunnel literally goes to the surface of this asteroid. You think, and what you're seeing is what you're seeing in the distance is another asteroid in this cluster. Okay. Have you got a spyglass or anything like that?
I think I've only got a magnifying glass. I don't think I've got a spyglass. Let me check.
Have you got a spyglass or telescope, that kind of thing? It's hard to see, but you think you're seeing in the distance another.
The thing you think would
Don't have a spyglass.
would come in very useful having a spyglass, wouldn't it? When you're a spelljammer. But
To be honest, I thought that Lovelaw had one.
I thought you did as well.
No, let me double check.
She's got a magnifying glass for brazen items, but not a
Let me double check. That would be interesting, and I would not doubt that I had something in the way like that.
there's a couple of magnifying glasses. I'm sure that Shaggy could whip up a spyglass.
I don't know. I think
I'm not seeing it.
I think Shaggy's just
If I had
realised
it.
that his chest that was on the ship has
Just away from
did not
keyboard for a
survive.
few seconds. Letting
Abby.
Doggy out for a wee.
Okay.
You're going out in the garden for a wee?
Me too. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, John.
John, was it only Megan's chest that survived?
I think JL's is all right.
Hang on. Whoa, that's a bit. Been near enough for me.
Sorry.
Rude.
Yeah.
Everything on the ship was burned and destroyed, with the exception, as far as you can tell, of the orb and Megan's chest. What was it you has gone missing?
My chest with my fine clothes, cold weather gear, a spare crossbow, a Yartling, and a Zulkoon. I am really
So
pissed.
any of your kit that's in your inventory, I'm assuming you had with you.
No, I had the chest and I took it on board. It was not on my person.
So anything that's in your inventory, I'm assuming you had with you.
Mighty fine of you, but I'm not going to be carrying a fucking large chest.
What is a Zoltoon anyway?
It's a musical instrument, the same as a Yardling.
Oh well, I think we're all happy that's burnt up then.
What? I thought you liked instruments, Mr. I can sing a lot.
I do. I play them very well.
But doesn't like it when somebody who's musically incompetent does.
Amateurs. Yeah.
I think that's the argument.
Jeez. I've been practicing
So anyway,
for
as I was
years on
saying,
those.
anything that's in your inventory is on you.
Okay.
So if you didn't transfer it from the chest into your inventory at the start of this adventure,
Use inventory very quickly, right? Spelljammer.
yeah,
No, Varo, it doesn't work like that.
no.
I think I've spotted a loophole, folks.
Yeah.
In other words, you are not out of pocket or out of stuff. So, should you have lost something, you will find an equivalent at some not too distant juncture. So I point that out. You don't lose out because the ship burned. You lost the ship, you didn't lose anything else.
Yeah. So, speaking of loopholes in the rules, while we wait for Anthony, has anyone ever heard of the peasant railgun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
I wanted to do that, but yeah, we didn't have enough peasants.
Yeah.
She's just gonna lie on her back and look up the tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, make a perception check for me then.
Oh.
Go to the right tab. Not great.
Not really.
Half of that roll was bonus anyway. If the butterflies appear, you know she's nodded off.
I mean, other people can come and have a look at the hole as well.
Yeah.
You've gone down there, you've looked up the thing, and then you've laid down on the floor and looked up and gone and told everybody what there is. You've narrated it to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Varo, you two can make a
Yeah.
make a roll.
Perception check.
You sort of lie down next to JL. And the two of you are looking up. Everyone else is like wandering about the room, sort of wondering what's going on. Mainly Shaggy is actually poking about with some of the fitments and things around the room. He's sort of scratching his head. You can see him every so often. He sort of wobbles the top of his bonks with a pseudopod and carries on. And you look and you say, JL, do those look like burn marks on the asteroid? Just thought it was dark rock at first, but look closely. Do they look like burn marks to you?
Could be. Could be.
Like something's hit that asteroid and kind of caused a big burn on the surface of it. And as you two were talking, Varo, JL, Shaggy stops and he looks up. And you can see that sort of that shift he does, that sort of hunch he does in his shoulders, where it's the sort of equivalent of the, you know, everyone else's beard stroke or the sort of puzzlement moment. He just does this little hunch. This is a weapon, says Shaggy.
Yeah.
Don't pull anything or press any buttons.
It's been disassembled. It's in the room. It's not
This
in
is
one
no.
place.
This is no asteroid. This is a space station.
It's a Death Star. Like, it's a death rock.
It's smaller. It's, you know, Death Star light.
All you need to do now is find the spelljamming helm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then we could be pirates. You could wander around the cosmos. Nice planet you've got there. Shame if something were to happen to it.
Oh no, the asteroid is rotating very slowly.
That was a warning shot. The next time it will be directly on you as bubbles
Hang on,
come
this
out
is
of
your
the
fault.
the orifice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bubble shot.
No, you also have an army of dogs that you could train to invade your opponent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, you're not mooring it next to Craxis.
No.
I'm pretty convinced about that.
No.
Yeah.
That's a good question, actually. Is there any upper limit, on the physical size of a ship that a spelljamming helm could be attached to?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know.
Because
I
if
mean,
there
it gives you
isn't, then
examples in the
basically-
rule book, doesn't it? And there's some big ships in there, but
No,
they're not
big ships,
much
yeah, but
bigger.
not this big.
Yeah,
Not this kind of size. Not
no.
you know, millions
would-
of tons of rock, asteroid type size. And also there I mean, otherwise, if there was no upper limit, then basically you could recreate the Wandering Earth, couldn't you? And just sort of strap a spelljamming helm to a nice handy island on any planet, and then just go wandering across the.
Or just jam it into the bedrock of a planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. That was good. Jam it.
Create spell jamming a helm.
Actually, that's a very good question, isn't it? I wonder
Okay.
what is
If
the
that was
biggest
well.
ship in the book.
So, you're pretty sure that what they got going on here was some kind of weapon. They were testing a weapon.
Hmm.
Something big and heavy, because I mean that would be a lot. It wouldn't even really be something you think you could fit on a spelljammer. It's too big.
So
Is it-
the only limit to it, it says here, is that the object must weigh 1 ton or more.
Well, planets weigh more than 1 ton,
They do.
as do asteroids. Someone hasn't thought this through.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I was thinking that the Periga clan household are trying to test weapons and get around any detection they're using a
Yep.
command of pirates.
I think it has to be a ship. It has to be on a ship, basically.
Sorry,
So,
do you want to say that again without the JL speak, because it will be a bit clearer, and then
Oh,
everyone
sorry.
needs to listen to what you just said.
The Periga clan or household are trying to develop weapons and things in secret. And the way to get around being detected is using the pirate clan.
sounds.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're doing.
So what their target is? Who were they fighting in space when we left?
Well, they were fighting their rivals on the same planet, weren't they?
On the same planet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to know? Do you want a little bit of an update on that? Do you want me to fill you in on it?
Yeah, can do.
Okay. So this basically started on the planet we're talking about here is Shelter, all right? And it is probably of both of the main systems in the Orimos extent, and in actual fact all of the other sort of peripheral spaces. It's probably one of the nicest. Okay, it's a temperate world. The land distribution is quite even across the planet, which moderates the global weather. It's lush landscapes pretty much everywhere, apart from at the polar regions, which have ice caps, but they're small. There's a large continent in the northern hemisphere, which is wild and unsettled and basically ruled by dragons. But in the south, there's 2 large land masses, Mazila and Lamizo, and those are dominated mainly by humans. I mean, there are plenty of other folks on the planet, but the dominant forces are humans. And of course, you've got this war. So what you have is you have these 3 trading houses that really kind of, in many respects, were effectively nation states, although really they were trading groups. They grew out of trading groups. You've got Bosconi, who specialise in metalwork, Aldanacho in textiles, and Pariga in alchemical components. It actually started as a disagreement over mineral rights on the island of Salgist. So that's March, which is obviously you know all about March because you've been to March. All three families claimed rights to an area with a rich gold seam, and it just became this stupid argument that then over time just blew up into war, which then spread back to shelter. It started as a small thing, but sometimes as small things do, they escalate, and it just escalated and escalated, and suddenly you had all that war between these three groups. That war has been ongoing for over 50 years, and it's ever present now in daily life on shelter as well. Actually, early on there were some pretty big military engagements, but they tend to be rarer now. You've got what is in effect a sort of Cold War. You've got border skirmishes going on, and you've got quite a lot of situations where you have groups, often sort of groups of less scrupulous adventurers or other folks with high degrees of combat skills who are brought kind of paid mercenaries, often for both sides, often paid to go and sort of assassinate somebody or cause chaos and those kind of things. And there's been a variety of atrocities committed on all sides. It's been pretty nasty, and it's still nasty to this day. And it's consumed a lot of resources, but the planet is really rich, and these groups were incredibly wealthy. In fact, they were among some of the wealthiest groups around, full stop, because they traded so widely. They still do trade widely, they still have industry and so forth, but there's this ever-present kind of conflict between them. And you don't, other than that, you kind of don't really know much else about it, but you get the distinct impression that perhaps these people were looking for the upper hand. They were looking for some kind of, they were looking for ways to strengthen themselves against their enemies.
I feel bad for whatever was for the creature in that box, or the person in that box, if they're going to be trying to dissect them to harness their psychic abilities or mental abilities. No, that would be bad.
All right, you want to get this finished then? Let's get a move on.
And just to let you know,
Mhm.
the longest ship in the source books is there's two, but there's 250 feet long, and that's the Hammerhead and one other.
Okay.
So there you go. But anyway, yes. So we think this is a weapon, and there's no other way out of this hexagonal. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-sided room?
Okay, so have you worked out what this machine does? Yeah, I mean, apart from saying it's a weapon, is that basically it? Is that what we worked out? Yeah.
As best you can tell, it's some kind of
Okay.
probably some kind of projectile weapon. I mean, everyone's now had a look at the thing, and you've all had a chance to review it and talk about it, and you can see that they're, over time you've worked out a little bit more about it. And given how far away it is, it's probably some miles away, the asteroid that's in the distance. And you can see, even at this distance, you can see, chunky craters that this thing has blown in it. So, as a planetary defense weapon, you think this would be pretty terrifying. It probably isn't the sort of thing that you would strap to a ship, simply because a ship's probably not going to be big and powerful enough to cope with it, even the biggest ships.
Okay, so that'll get us out to the surface, but we can use the freight elevator to get up to the surface anyway. So at least we've got a secondary way out. There's only
it'll be
one
a bit of a
other
climb, but
way
you
that
can do
we
it,
can
yeah.
go, and that's to the warded door.
Yeah, I think that's what we've got to investigate next. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And without any dispel magics, we're gonna have to damage the warding.
We have to get creative.
All right, the team's together-ish.
Can I think I said this last week, and I'll say it again. If you hold down, if you've got a wheelie, or if you've got the uppy and downy with your fingers on the trackpad, using a trackpad, you can hold down left shift and zoom in and out. So you can zoom the map right out. And it's super quick nowadays because of Roll20 jump gates. And then you can just pick things up and move really fast. Just
Yep.
it's much quicker and easier than it ever used to be.
All right. Oh, I didn't do that. John?
Oh, you stood by the door. It doesn't matter. You stood there before.
Yeah, but it didn't do anything.
Okay.
So
all right.
now
Right.
it's all good.
Who's going
All right,
to deface the ward on the door with a knife or something?
Why is it showing areas here? What's going on here? Just give me
I
a
don't
second,
know,
guys.
John.
I'm not seeing anything down there.
No, me neither.
I am.
I
I
Yeah,
see.
that's weird.
I see all this out here. I see even all
Yeah.
that to here, John.
I've got nothing.
On here and
But
here.
then
Yeah,
that's
that way,
possibly
that's-
because I'm
Yeah.
in that room.
So when I placed my character right there, it popped all that open somehow. But I don't know if there's a gap right here. It looks like it. But that
Yeah,
still
looks
doesn't
like
seem
it
quite right. Doesn't seem quite right because it didn't open it up with light. It's all dark.
Well, if there's a gap there, I can squeeze through it. um,
Any gaps around this warded door, John?
Right, Lovelaw, are you stepping up to the door like you
That
were
was the-
before?
That was the plan.
Okay.
okay, right. 2 seconds then. Before you do anything, love.
Okay.
Okay. I place my my hand on your back, and I cast heroism,
Nice.
and then I go back to where
Well, what is that
Monty is.
still makes you look really great when you die?
I think so.
No.
That's the one.
Okay. Equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. What is my spellcasting ability modifier? Is +4. So you get 4 temporary hit points. Is that right?
You also hear this voice over your shoulder, and it's just whispering in your ear, saying, "You got this. You're great. You
You
really,
got this."
really get you. Wow, what a guy you are."
Exciting.
Oh, I can actually do it to 2 people. But there you go. No, I'll do it to Love. And yeah, basically, you're now immune to being frightened. And you gain temporary hit points equal to my spellcasting ability modifier, which according to my thing is 4 + 4 at the start of
Okay.
each of its turns. So do I just go cast it? I haven't done anything today, so there you go.
Okay. All right.
4 temporary hit points.
So,
Just
John,
in
I guess
case it hits you for 58 and you've only got 57 hit points.
you're a gentleman, a scholar. I will sort of push at the door, see what it's going to do.
Oh, I actually tell you how to get rid of the ward on this side.
Okay.
Okay, which is to deface the wards,
Okay.
and you will get a backlash, but it won't be as bad as just trying to push the door open, because
right,
you'll be breaking
then
2 at that point.
I'll do that. I'll take a dagger and deface this
Do you
one.
believe him?
I would. That's what the rule book
Don't know any
says.
difference. So I just give it a shot.
So here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to just start scraping away at wards on the door, of which there are many, all small and tightly packed across the entire door surface. Not just one ward, but there's lots of them. You want to start scraping at each of those, or you want to try and see if you can open the door, see if the door moves.
I am going to try and push at it and see what happens. Push, pull, just get a
Okay.
feel of it
You know it slides.
to the
You're
side.
pretty confident from looking at both of these doors that they slide. So
Okay.
you kind of, first of all, you kind of get your hands down at the bottom and you try and sort of slide it upwards. And there's a very slight give, but nothing moves. You think,
Okay.
okay. So you push it. You literally put your hands on it. Nothing bad happens when you put your hands on it. Put your hands on it and you sort of, and it clunk. And it just slides open. It's not locked.
Well,
Wow,
Look at
that's a really cool spell, Shaggy.
You know me.
never felt anything like it, Shaggy. That's amazing.
I've
It
got
literally
all
just
of them.
slides into the wall. I mean, you were concerned about what it might be, how might it be, is it going to have traps, is it going to be this, is it going to be that? No, it looks like it's just probably warded to stop anything passing through it, like teleportation and those kind of things. And the way it slots into the floor and the ceilings and the walls and everything would stop anything around it. You couldn't get, Shaggy couldn't go through it using his sort of thought skills and so forth. All that stuff seems locked off, but actually the door just slides.
Okay.
Now, when you get the other side, you realise that there is a latch and a locking mechanism, so there would be a way of locking it, but it's not locked.
A great place to rest up if we needed to.
Absolutely.
It just opens. So you come into this room and you have a big set of double doors over here, and you have over here a smaller single door. Again, these look like the ones that you have been seeing.
All right. I'll advance into the room.
Okay. This room doesn't have much in it. You were sort of expecting there to be, another workshop or another assembly room or another lab or something, but that's not what you've got here.
Okay.
Over in this corner, sorry, just remembered, over in this corner, there are some leftover bits of wood and some, and some sawhorses and stuff that have sort of been just pushed to the side of the room. There's a saw there. There's a few other bits and pieces look like some woodworking tools, and you recognise the wood. It's the wood that the crate was made out of. Pretty sure it's the same wood.
Okay.
It's got kind of a unique colour to it.
I'll grab some of that. Put it in the box.
I don't know what it is.
I'll put it in the bag with the rest of the evidence.
Yep.
Okay. You grab a small offcut. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Next move.
Straight south, or would you want to go check the other side?
Small door or big door?
I'll listen at this door whilst they're contemplating what the other door is.
Okay.
Dale's passively doing her thing. Great
All
action
right.
warning. That stuff. Okay, John, I'll give it a chance to try to pop it open.
I don't hear anything, Shaggy.
Oh, we're okay. This way.
Okay, what about this way?
Lovelaw, are you listening at the door?
Both are, I think.
Where do we go roll? Is it
I
John
don't.
will do it.
Okay.
JL, are you listening at the door as well?
She's kind of just more stood there than if Lovelaw's actually actively listening. She's just kind of watching in case anything happens.
All right. I mean, just soaking in your surroundings.
Yeah.
No sound that you guys can detect.
All right. I'll open the door south. See what happens.
Go for it.
Hey, sure enough.
Okay.
Wow. It's a big one.
This is a laboratory.
Oh.
This laboratory is somewhat similar to the room where you think the dogs were vivisected. But it's also different. There's only a single table in here, and it's larger. It would fit a medium-sized humanoid as an operating space, as an operating table. And indeed, there are still stains on it that suggest that something bad happened. But that's not the most notable thing. The most notable thing is that in one corner there is a pool. A bath effectively built into the corner of the room. That's taking up about 8 feet wide and about 12 feet long. And there are the remnants of something floating in the water. The water looks relatively clean, but there's the few remnants of something sort of floating on top, and then you think possibly from where you stood, Lovelaw and JL, a few things on the bottom of the pool as well. There are a number of tools around. There is also a dead body over here.
Okay.
Human. If you had to guess, possibly from shelter, simply because the features and the olive skin, brown eyes, dark hair, slumped in a heap, dressed in perhaps scientist clothes, and the body has obviously suffered some kind of internal bleeding because dried blood runs down the nose, from the eye sockets, and down the ears.
Okay.
Hang on. You're kind of describing this body as if it was fresh. How long?
It's not fresh. No, it's pretty manky, in fact.
How often has it been here?
But you think probably maybe it's started to sort of partially dry out, actually. But you think probably what, 8-10 weeks, something like that?
Okay.
Probably roughly around the time that you were, or possibly slightly before you guys picked the crate up and shipped it. That sort of time frame.
Not like this
Okay.
room.
All right.
Nobody seems to have made an effort. He just left the body where it lay.
Hmm.
There
looking
are
around. Yeah, there's a
scraps.
pools down here.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't draw that. Sorry, I'll get onto
I
that.
don't want to get right next to the pool. I just want to get where I can sort of see better.
Yeah, I mean, you get up close enough to sort of peek over, and there's some things inside the pool. I'll draw on the shape of the pool. Hold on.
Okay. $18. I think you're about to trigger something.
Oh, I knew I got it the wrong way round. God damn.
Good try. Good try.
I know.
Thank you for keeping up, though. It's good. It's helpful.
Hello. I do my best. But now I can put
Hey,
a
JL.
little bit of detritus because you did say that there was
JL,
some
you're looking at the body.
things on there.
Yeah, she wants to see if there's anything about it or if it's got anything of interest on it.
You poke through the body. The first thing you do is you kneel down and you look at this thing and you say, "Is it going to stand up if I poke it?" So you reach out and you just kind of go boop, like that with the forehead. It doesn't move. In fact, it does move. It kind of goes off to one side slightly.
Yep.
You're like, okay, that'll do. And then you sort of fertle through things, and you're basically checking it over, and inside it's finely made jerkin. You find there's a little book. You know, like bingo,
Ah.
bingo, bingo, bingo. And you
Hang on,
draw
we
it
found
out.
a
And you're
bingo
like,
book.
you're like this to everyone else. Okay. Alrighty. Lovelaw.
Yep.
I think you need to make. I think you need to make a survival check.
Okay. There it goes.
I think it's
Not so
possible
good.
that you might be making that survival check at advantage. So roll it again.
Okay, I just rolled aware of that.
But only you would be.
Not great.
Something is tickling at the back of your neck. Something is giving you a vibe looking in this pool, but maybe you would need to look a little bit closer. Maybe you need to get close. You're paranoid that there's something in there that's going to come out and get you. You don't want to get close to it. Maybe you need a closer look, and maybe you need the wisdom of other people too. Maybe you all need to collectively have a look.
Well, I definitely have the Great Axe of Warning out in front of me to say, I don't know what this is. I got a bad feeling about the pool. And then, of course, I step up next to it.
I draw my sword.
Cannot
And
be
I-
surprised.
Get my shield ready.
Right. Just hold on a second, because there we go. That was a bit weird. It wasn't coming up.
No, Megan, stand back there.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't move myself.
Oh,
Where would you
You
like to go?
can't- oh.
Okay.
I couldn't move.
wonder why. What if you're
Oh, did you get stuck? You okay now? You're all right moving, yeah?
Yeah, I can move now. I just wouldn't move. I think there's
Okay.
something going on my keyboard.
As Lovelaw moves a bit closer to the pool, Monty is going to just move at the same. He's keeping the same distance that he normally does between Lovelaw and himself, because I've told him to basically go.
Okay.
Stuff.
It's fine. Just give me a second. That's a bit weird. Okay. Something was in this pool. Something small.
Oh,
And it shed. It shed parts of itself at some point. But it's no longer here. There's something on the. There's something playing at the back of your mind. Something. You just can't bring it to the fore. You just can't grasp that.
what is it,
You
shit?
kneel down and you kneel down. You lean your hands on the edge of the pool and you look behind you. People are watching. You lean and you look, and you just can't get it. Something.
Hmm.
Just on general principles, Varo's going to shoot an arrow into this pool.
Lovelaw he shits himself when this arrow past his ear. Don't do that.
Oh, it could have been an ooze or something.
They're only
Exactly.
small,
To try.
tiny little parts of something. Little sort of remnants of slime and little tiny bits of something that maybe grew a little bit and then something. It did something.
Gelatinous cube. Swallows him.
Is anyone else going to have a look?
No, I'm not going anywhere near that pool.
No,
Yeah.
don't like the pool.
Jael wanders over. She tucks
Have a
the
look.
book away.
Yeah.
She wanders over, and the first thing she does is she sticks her finger in and goes,
Yummy.
salty.
Okay, yeah.
Mm.
You know it's the kind of thing that she would do, right? Everyone else is like, oh,
Yeah.
exactly what she would do. Jael.
Yes.
You've tasted
Yeah.
this type of salt before.
I think you could make a.
Possession roll. You have been possessed.
Yeah. I can make this in my jug. Salt water.
I think you should make an investigation check. And you should make it, in your case, at advantage. Because you've been listening to Lovelaw, almost talking to himself about these things. And you can tell that he's frustrated.
Mm, 21, not bad.
There we go. That's much better.
Ah. Yeah. Probably good that whatever's in here has now.
That's now gone.
Does it look like there's a way out of this pool back under the wall?
No.
I think if this whatever was in here has been removed dead or it's hitched a ride with somebody else.
Is it? Did we say? I think you said, John.
I think it's a tentacle parasite creature.
That thing sucks. All right.
Yeah.
So we can go look around and see if there's any more secret doors or other bits of evidence we can gather on this family.
Investigation.
So we could, whatever that thing was, could be infested with a. Oh no!
Not so much. Not so much.
Could be in. They're messing. They're messing with mind flayers. These things. I don't want anything to do with it.
As soon as she mentions mind flayers, it puts you off completely, Lovelaw. You've really been struggling to concentrate anyway, but as soon as she says mind flayers, immediately something springs to mind. You many years ago broke into what you thought was an enemy base, and it turned out to be somewhere that housed it was a base for mind flayers, and you found a pool that was similar to this, and it was full of these little tadpoles, mind flayer tadpoles, and one of your companions got nobbled by a tadpole, and was kind of subsumed, and the rest of you legged it, and escaped. But you never forgot the experience, and you never forgot the horror of that, the idea of this, and it all just comes back. And then Varo, you have read up on this subject, so you've got an idea of this process, and the word that comes to mind for you is ceremorphosis, which is this process where a tadpole, a mind flayer tadpole, gets into a sentient creature and takes it over and turns it into a mind flayer.
What, by like sucking some of the water off of a finger, maybe?
Quite a bit bigger than that. Quite a bit bigger than that, fortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
They're not tiny things. These tiny creatures that dwell in water. Humans.
So, are all these things in here dead? All these mind flayer tadpoles dead?
They're not mind flayer tadpoles. Rob very helpfully put very large black marks on there, but it's not like that at all. I said there's a few little bits, so there's little particulates in the bottom, and then floating on the top of it, like little remnants of slime. But there's no.
Oh, okay.
Which is what has given you the clue that it was a mind flayer tadpole. I mean, that's the guess.
Wow.
You're wrong, but that seems like the most logical deduction.
I've got to say, if
you're trying to,
if House Bariga is playing with mind flayers, they are playing with fire there.
Absolutely. They think that they can splice in some of that.
Yeah, I think they can control those things.
They've kidnapped one of those people, one of those other races that that are sitting at Craxus. Yeah, that's
true.
not going to be good. Good news. This could start to escalate the war even more, couldn't it?
You want to have a look at the room next door?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
She keeps wiping her finger on her jacket.
Should we take a while they're opening the door? Can I take a look at the notebook?
Yes. We'll come back to that just in a second. We'll get into the details of that in a second. So, Lovelaw, you're the one who has a look. And it's a cell. Okay. It's you know, there's a lock on the door, although it's not locked, and you open it with ease. But it does have a lock on the door. There's also a panel at the top of the door, so it's unlike any other door in here. There's a panel at the top of the door. You didn't even really notice it the first time, but now you know when you get up to it, you notice, and you open it up and look through, and then you just literally open it and look inside. There's a simple cot, and there's a bucket for toilet use, and that's about it really. It's very very simple. You also notice that there's some chains on the bed, so you think whatever is chained down in here. But one thing you do notice is whatever was kept in here has scratched kind of a series of decorations into the room, and all these sweeping things, and quite a lot of it is sort of like a seascape, and then these kind of rather lovely ships, or kind of like almost like these sort of elongated kind of creatures, which you recognise as being the Regars, in the style of the Regar ship, sort of floating above them. And then within the waves, you've got these this kind of you've got heads like within the water, and these flowing hair and all this kind of stuff. There's no question in your mind that it must have been a Regal that was kept in here. I think probably was just using like a rock or something to scratch these murals into the wall.
Are they just murals? Is that there's no writing or anything then?
No, it's all just decoration, really.
Okay.
JL, you step forward, and the first thing you do is you start sketching this.
Yep, taking it down. Yep.
And that's and at the same time as you're sketching it and you're talking to Lovelaw about it and Megan about it, Varo is leafing through this notebook. It looks like it was the personal notebook of whoever the body was, and a fair amount of it is just little snippets of notes, but you quickly piece together from it the fact that they managed to secure a Regar. They kidnapped it from somewhere. They rendezvoused with it on false pretenses and captured it. That they struggled to get it back here, but they were able to secure it, and they had to. It seems like they had to sort of beat it quite severely on more than one occasion to get it to calm down. It's quite hideous as you're reading this. Some of the things that they've done, really quite terrible things that they've done to it. And then there's this whole thing about how they finally have captured this this tadpole, and then they put the Regar in the pool with the tadpole, and they put and they basically there's something about how they put a lid on, and three of them had to kind of stand on the lid to stop from the thrashing that was going on within the pool. But eventually it calmed down. They realised that the tadpole must have taken effect, and then they were going to ship it back, because they knew that once they had it kind of mated and everything was under control, they'd been building this crate and they were going to ship it back, and that's where it ends. I mean, it's bang to rights. It's absolutely, unquestionably, there's no question in your mind that this is the evidence that you needed. 100%. You take this back to the Regar, this proves exactly what's gone on.
Okay, but where does the family Periga call home?
Shelter.
Where, sorry?
Shelter.
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 Yeah. So the question, the notebook, does the notebook have anything on it that says it's Periga? Is it embossed with a logo or anything in the writing?
No, it does not. But you do have
We
the
have lots of
address from
others.
the shipping note. You do have the address from the shipping notes of the crate, and you do have the evidence of the creation of the crate, and you do have all of the things listed that tell you
And
You
we've
know,
still
you
got
have
some
all
more
of
of the
the pieces of
complex
the
left to
evidence
go,
you
so
need.
we might find something more substantial that we can take away on our spell
This is pretty good
jamming
right here.
planet.
I'd say that is, as you say, that's a pretty good smoking gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've 100% got everything that you need. You know that you have.
Yeah.
That, you know, there's no question. There's no question in your minds that this is all the evidence that you need. I mean, yeah, you can maybe find some other bits and pieces, but you've got all the evidence that you would need to put this together. Sorry, Rob, you were asking. So let's just. I'm just going to take a moment, and I'm going to.
I didn't ask anything.
Pop you back. No, a bit earlier, you asked about this place. Okay. I'm just going to
So we're not far off shelter then.
remove the harder gold. Shelter orbits, so
Well,
it's actually
yeah.
it's just indicative of where the orbit is.
Yeah.
So this is shelter. Okay. And this is the planet that I was talking about earlier, where it's I mean literally it's like it's pretty much the nicest place to live. If it wasn't for the fact that the northern continent, the main kind of northern hemisphere continent is dragons and you get eaten, and the southern continents are, you know, racked by war. This would be a really lovely place. So this is also obviously where Craxis is and where March is on the inner part. Okay, so this is where the Periga family are from, and this is where you flew the crate. So you have all of the information about where you took the crate, and you can attest to all of it.
Yeah.
You also have the sketches of this place. JL at various points has been pulling out her notebook and taking quite detailed sketches. Varo has been making notes as well. You've got the evidence of the weapon development that was turned up. You have the notebook. You have so much.
Very good.
Just not away off the asteroid yet.
That's the kicker.
Yeah.
Yes, you've got everything you need, but the only downside is
Trapped.
now what?
Yeah.
And on that particular score, I think we'll leave it there.
All right. Very good.
Very good indeed.
If you got all the way to the end, we appreciate your support. Thank you for watching the MVRA whilst we bring you content of different games. If you like what we have done, please like and subscribe.